Having next two lectures on grassroots innovations and R&D in ISRO. I think we will start with the R&D in ISRO. Right? So we start with R&D in ISRO, then we will move on to grassroots innovations. Dr. Shashikumar was space scientist. He is educationalist, science communicator. He's a writer, a soft skill trainer, motivation speaker, psychotherapist, meditation master, and spiritual director. So we are very fortunate to have him with us here. He is the author of two books, Life of Love, Life Made Simple, Adaptive Learning, and a few on spirituality. Well, more than two books. I'm sorry. Now he is working as a professor and HOD in the management department in Aurora Engineering College, located in Bhubaneswar, near Hyderabad. He was a former consultant and advisor in corporate social responsibility project of Soha Developers, located in Palghad, Kerala. He was Deputy Director, DG Security, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, New Delhi. Prior to that, he was Director UGC. He was a scientist and section head in Space Department at RIN. He also worked as a scientist, Space Application Center in ISRO, Ahmedabad. So with this brief introduction of the speaker, I would like to request Dr. Shashikumar to take up his lecture. Dr. Shashikumar, looking forward for your lecture.
Thank you.
You can use this.
I know most of the students here who are all into the project are well versed with the space department, but there are few faculty members probably require a little bit of introduction. So what I will do is go through some of the.
The Indian Space Research Organization is an independent Indian governmental agency. It was established in 1969 for the research and development of vehicles and activities for the exploration of space within and outside of Earth's atmosphere. Headquartered in Bangalore, ISRO Chief Executive is also Chairman of the Indian Government Space Commission and the Secretary of the Department of Space.
This is the only department where secretary or two departments are there in India, where the secretary is generally IAS people. Department of Space is one department under government where secretary is a technical person. He is not an IAS person. A scientist becomes secretary and he reports to the minister. Therefore, the policies of government of India is not applicable to Department of Space. It is not governed by administrators. It is governed by scientists. Therefore, lot of freedom. We have
ISRO's first satellite, Aryabhata.
all the head of the departments headquarters is in Delhi except the Department of Space. Because he said if I wanted to become head, make the head office in Bangalore. So you can imagine an individual who controlled and changed the head office Delhi to Bangalore. And ISRO is the research organization, Department of Space is the department. And ISRO chairman is the secretary to Department of Space. Both are one, individual. Probably from now onwards it may change because of some small problems which has come in the newspaper, you know what happened to Madhavan Nair and all that, right? Because of two powerful positions by single person there could be some problems. It's not that difficult, but so far it was not creating problem. Now government may
Was
redesign.
launched by the Soviet Union in 1975. Rohini, the first satellite to be placed in orbit by an Indian-made launch vehicle, was launched in 1980. ISRO subsequently developed two other rockets, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle for putting satellites into polar orbit and the Geostationary Space Launch Vehicle for placing satellites into geostationary orbit. These rockets have launched communications, Earth observation satellites, and, in 2008, Chandrayaan-1, India's first mission to the Moon. Indian Space Organization plans to put 2 astronauts into orbit in 2015. Over the years, this space organization has conducted a variety of operations for both Indian and foreign clients. ISRO's satellite launch capability is mostly provided by indigenous launch vehicles and launch sites. In 2008, ISRO successfully launched its first lunar probe, Chandrayaan-1, while future plans include indigenous development of GSLV, known space missions, further lunar exploration, and interplanetary probes. ISRO has several field installations as assets and cooperates with the international community as a part of several bilateral and multilateral agreements. Geopolitical and economic considerations during the 1960s and 1970s compelled India to initiate its own launch vehicle program. During the first phase, 1960s-1970s, the country successfully developed a sounding rockets program, and by the 1980s, research had yielded the Satellite Launch Vehicle 3 and the more advanced Augmented Satellite Launch Vehicle, ASLV, complete with operational supporting infrastructure.
There are three major
ISRO further applied its
divisions in rockets. One PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. GSLV, Geostationary Satellite Launch Vehicle. You will hear another term called ASLV. ASLV is augmentation. These are all experiments. After PSLV, it can carry this much weight, slightly change the fuel, change the structure to make it slightly better than that. They are not operational, augmented vehicles. That's why you will hear the term called ASL.
energies to
This is what yesterday I was telling. You have the launch pad there, which is as big as the satellite, rocket, along with the satellite, which may be 6-floor building, on which people will work making the satellite. And once the satellite gets fired, if that is within the building, the whole building will collapse. So what happens is, it moves backward. The building will move backward. So the whole building is on a rail. You will see it's a big rail. It's being pulled back after everything is set right. Now today there are two pads. One is, this is called the vertical pad. The another one is a horizontal one. You do everything on the ground and then tilt it up.
the advancement of launch vehicle technology resulting in the creation of Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle,
Yeah.
PSLV, and Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, GSLV, technologies. India's economic progress has made its space program more visible.
SHAR is open for people. You can write to the SHAR director and the PRO there and get a approval. You can visit Space Application Center, SHAR, the Launch Vehicle Center.
And active as the country aims for greater self-reliance
It's now called Satish Dhawan SHAR Center, SD SHAR.
and space technology. India also connects space exploration to national prestige. In 2010, India has launched 11 satellites, including 9 from other countries, and it became the first nation to launch 11 satellites on one rocket. Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, has successfully operationalized 2 major satellite systems named the Indian National Satellites, INSAT, for communication services, and Indian Remote Sensing, IRS, satellites for management of natural resources.
I was talking about 2 satellites, one geostationary and another one is remote sensing. Geostationary goes along the equator with the same speed as the Earth. So all the time it is called geostationary. Geo means Earth. So with respect to Earth it is stationary. That's why when you say hello, it's able to hear. So geostationary satellite is the ear and the mouth. It will hear and it's the tongue. It will also tell you back. You call from Gujarat, satellite will receive it and then it will speak to people from Assam. It covers only the Indian region. Maybe 6,000 kilometers is the radius, diameter in which it can cover. So 3,000 is India, little bit far you can. And you have another similar satellites by Arabsat. So if you want to speak to Arabian country, it goes to INSAT, goes to a common place. From there again it is reflected onto their satellite, and from there it goes to them. That's how you are able to get onto other country like America. So in the west and east, you have antennas which can reflect back onto satellite, pick it up from this satellite, get it here, reflect it there. Right? And Hong Kong is what is the hub for the east, and this side you have Dubai in the west. So it keeps going around like this. And every satellite will cooperate each other to reach from one country to another country. Now you understand what is. So INSAT is the ear and the tongue. Right? And you have what is called sun synchronized satellite, which has cameras like our normal camera.
Sun synchronous satellites are placed at an altitude of 900 to 1,200 kilometers orbit from near pole to near pole.
This is slightly old version. It says 900 kilometers. Now you know when the satellite becomes heavier, it has to be at a higher place. If it becomes lighter, it can come closer to Earth. When it comes closer to Earth, you can see things very clearly. So remote sensing is for taking pictures, like camera. So when you are closer, you can get better pictures. And today we have satellites which can go up to 500 kilometers. When I joined 20 years back, it was 1,000 kilometers. So in 20 years, the satellites were placed from 900 kilometers to 500 kilometers bottom. That's because the satellite has become lighter. Electronics has become lighter. Okay? And it goes from equator to equator. Going from equator to equator, not true equator to equator, slightly inclined. Not 90 degree, 89, 88, that's the degree. Therefore it keeps on going like this. Earth rotates. Therefore, when the satellite goes, different part of Earth is being imaged. It's like a ribbon. The camera has got a field of view. You want more resolution? Reduce the field of view. Your field of view is 180 degree. But when you go to temple, you want to see the deity closer, you close it like this. Because field of view reduction will give you more resolution. Clarity better. Okay? Your camera is also like that. You want to see things clear? Reduce the field of view, focal length will increase, and your image will become more clear. Same principle. Normal cameras. And therefore,
in which satellite rotates around the Earth is called orbital plane. The satellite,
unlike a geostationary satellite, because the Earth is revolving, your satellite is also revolving around Earth. Earth is rotating. Every part of globe is covered, like a ribbon. Okay? A globe is a sphere which you tie with the ribbon. And that is how you get the images. It will be like a strip. So you stay in we get in Shadnagar, we have got an antenna. It will keep focusing for the satellite to come. Exactly 9:30 when the satellite comes, the antenna will get locked to the satellite. As the satellite moves, the antenna also will move. You can imagine, the satellite will go on top at 500 km from north to south. So when it moves from north to south, the satellite will get locked on the antenna gets locked to the satellite, and it just takes the picture. And you must know how much time it takes for revolving around the Earth.
90 minutes.
90 minutes. 14 times it goes around the Earth. So you can imagine the speed of the satellite, right? And it's at 600 km height. Radius of Earth is 6,200 plus 600, 6,800, 2 pi r. That much it goes around in this speed. So the speed is too large. In which you have got a camera, and Earth itself is rotating. Camera is moving. Imagine I am taking a video camera and running and taking the picture. And things have to be clear. And that's what we were doing in the ground processing. A moving object taken by a moving camera, the whole thing will be not very clear. Make it clear is the ground processing level. That's what is
Progresses over equator at the same rate as sun progresses over equator. Thus, wherever the satellite passes, local time and the sun illumination remain.
It takes 1.5 hours, 90 minutes, approximately 1 hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Slightly varies from satellite to satellite, depends on the height. So that means 9 o'clock it goes around Indian region. It will come back to this same, approximately similar places at 10:30 because 1.5 hours. Then it will come at 12 o'clock. But we will take picture only in the morning. Between 9 to 10:30 is the right time to take picture. Why? The sun illumination is very good for taking pictures. The daytime after lunch, if you take picture, you will not be very good. You will be tired, right? The atmosphere also will be too much disturbed. The picture will not be very good. Irradiation will become very high, and the picture will become blurred. So early morning is the best time to take pictures. So 9 to 10:30 is the right time, and that is called a local time. And it synchronizes with the sun. Therefore, remote sensing satellite is called sun synchronized orbit. And such satellites are sun synchronized orbit.
Sun synchronous satellites are placed at an altitude of 900 to 1,200.
So it is not 900 to 1000. No, it is 500 kilometers. 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, 700 kilometers, depends on who downloads. And if I put it still closer by 400, I can place the satellite on Bhopal continuously. It also becomes almost sun synchronous. I mean geostationary. With the same speed only it will move. Okay, so I can change the height of the satellite to make it closer to that. And you know the principle of launching satellite? I am launching it, which is south here, this is east, right? South is here, right? That's east, so south is here. So from Bhopal I am launching a satellite. Generally we don't launch from Bhopal, right? Where do we launch from? Sriharikota. Why? Even if it falls, it has to fall in the sea. So that people are not affected, that's the reason. If I have to throw some stone from here, if I throw, it may reach the next building, right? If I have to throw a little further, I have to throw from which larger force it will go and fall in Hyderabad. Little more force if I throw, it will go and fall in Bangalore. Some more force, I will go to Kanyakumari. Little more force, it will go to Australia. Little more force, where it will go?
Orbit.
It will go to the equator. After some more force, if I use it, it goes to out of Earth. Once it goes out of Earth, where it will go? It goes into orbit. Why? Because there are a lot of planets around which pulls them everywhere. Agrishti shaktistu mahitaya yadghastam swabhimugam sashaktiya, etc., etc. Padatvayam K. There are a lot of orbit planets here and there. Everyone is pulling anything which is in the space. Therefore, it doesn't know where to fall. because somebody is pulling me from here, somebody is pulling me over here, and so many pulls are there around, I don't know where to go, so I will take a trajectory motion which is resultant vector which goes around one of the planets.
So this was the Indian version of the three-body problem.
That's it. Universal gravity and the gravity. Adrishti shakti stumahitaya sam sabhimukham swashaktya. I pull you and somebody else also pulls you. Where do you go? You go in the resultant vector. Right? Now I will go to the presentation which I prepared. I may take sharp maybe 40 minutes or so. Large number of slides, so I'll go very fast. You can process more than 150 words per minute, but I will use only 60 words per minute, half of that. Be very attentive. I'll ask you questions at the I don't have to explain this. We are good in satellite, but not in rockets. Not in rockets, but not in aviation. We are the largest economy. Inflation is controlled now. Policies and schemes are good. We have special economic zones. We have special considerations for space technology. The first rocket was by Tipu Sultan. And Diwali is very famous. Nowhere in the world everybody push rockets like this. In any part of the globe, India is the largest rocket users. Every village fellow is also rocket scientist. Okay. And it started in a small church in Trivandrum. And that's a space museum now. If you get a chance to go to Trivandrum, don't miss the space museum at the... And you will see most of the rocket samples there. We had lot of launches happened. It works on fuels which are porous medium, solid, liquid, and cryogenic. It's all controlled by the small controller motors here. The nozzles, these are tilted. This tilting of this is what is giving the push. If you want the rocket to go here, tilt it slightly. And that's how it happens. Rocketry is not very bad. We are thorough in that. Lot of collaborative activity from different countries also happen. Antrix Corporation is the commercial agency which does business for ISRO. A camera will be as big as this room, which is being launched. If you want to see the camera, if you go to Space Application Center Ahmedabad, you will see the camera as big as this. The focal length can be 1 meter. When you use a normal camera, you have focal length. When the camera is, the lens is coming out, this is the lens, and this is the back paging, which is inside. So this could be less than 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters. That's a camera which we are using. And the satellite camera will be 1 meter. 1 meter is from the tip to the shoulder for me. So this is 1 meter. And you can simulate it to 3 meters sometime. So the camera focal length, we have got one technological experimental satellite. The camera focal length is 3 meters. So the lens is here and the image comes 3 meter far. Okay? And all our cameras, we have got black and white and color. But these cameras will have many different colors possibility. So not one camera, you will see many cameras parallel. You will see, that's why you will see 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of them are cameras. Depends on whether you want black and white, whether you want color. And the launching uses different stages because you can reduce the weight. That's the only thing. Once this burns, you throw it out so that that weight is less. The rocket will have diameter of nearly 5 to 10 meters of diameter. So you can imagine the weight, that itself will be very heavy. So you can reduce the weight by throwing it out. And each stage they use different fuels. It could be solid and then it could be cryogenic at the end. So you can use a solid stage here and a liquid stage here and then a cryogenic stage there. So it reduces the weight as it goes on top. I told you it is not thrown straight onto top. Every squirrel knows how to launch satellites. The squirrel will jump. You have seen how it jumps, trajectory motion. I remember when I gave a lecture in Trivandrum, the title was Squirrel is better than Abdul Kalam. Because it knows trajectory much better by birth. Right? The cryo stage development is, we still depend on Russian. So during satellite launch, if you go to Sriharikota, you will see a lot of Russian people around. Because they are the people who are giving technology transfer to us. I remember during Chandrayaan, that day of launching, I was in All India Radio, Delhi, answering questions to public. Because there are a lot of questions why a poor country like India is spending a lot of money on. These are the general questions which came from general public. So I was answering the questions live on All India Radio. Chandrayaan payload has got one of the most interesting could be the stereo payload which can take the picture of the moon surface. And that's why we could make the terrain model of moon. Terrain model, the way it looks like, is modeled. This is the terrain model. So it is not, Chandramukhi is not the most beautiful face now. It has got a lot of pimples around, right? And each crater is named now by people. If I find a new crater, I can put my name there. And I say this is my invention, right? It's done. This is one of the experiment which we have, in which the recovery experiment. You can dump it onto sea and then take it back. Russians are very good. Instead of digital camera and sending the data through communication link, Russians used to give normal films, rolled films, which runs in meters, maybe thousands of meters, and it goes in space shuttle, takes picture. Space shuttle can be 200 kilometers, so much closer to ground. And it can see all the parts of the earth, take pictures. Nobody can capture it because there is no communication. No tapping is possible because it's a physical media. And they used to get the film down, take the rolls out, put the new roll, send it back to. So, space technology, Russians are the best. But Americans wanted to be best, therefore they made a Moon Hawks mission. Moon mission was a big Hawks. You understand what is Hawks, right? Yeah. And therefore in some of the space conferences, all other countries except America will say, where Americans landed how many years back?
69.
How many years back now? More than 40 years back they landed there. Now we may land after 60 years. These used to be the comments made by 20 years back. Maybe another 30 years we will try to land, in which America may think of landing after that. This used to be the sarcastic comments made by most of the other countries. Okay. We have reusable launch vehicle plans. These are all plans which launched. The space flight programs are the human space mission. Probably maybe your grandchildren can take a picnic. They can, because the manned mission is possible only when you have the taking it back has to happen. Otherwise people don't venture to go. Right? The transportation vision, probably in 2020-2025, we will have something in place. The whole Indian portion is active in space and aerodynamics. These are all the different centers. We have VSSC, which is the whole job of ISRO is divided into centers, I told you. So VSSC is launch vehicle manufacturing place, but it doesn't launch. The launching happens in Sriharikota. And ISAC is the camera building and gyro system. You understand what is gyro system? So the satellite making happens at ISAC, Bangalore. Sriharikota is the place where it launches. So you have to get the satellite from Bangalore, get the vehicle from Trivandrum, and on top of the vehicle you keep the satellite in Shar. And on road it travels from Bangalore, from Trivandrum to Andhra Pradesh. So ISRO is a national integration process, like sambar in your kitchen. Every ingredient comes from different places and the mother does national integration. LPSC is where it is getting tested, Veliamala. If you get a chance, you can see that. The liquid propulsion is tested keeping it horizontally. The test process is wonderful. You fire it physically with all the ingredients inside and measure how much thrust is created, how much vibration it can sustain, what temperature it goes, whether it bursts or not, whether the whole fuel is burnt or not. You can see the fuel mixing center. And by mistake, if you just by seeing, if a set falls down, it may fire. You understood? So that critically is the mixing which happens. And for all the rocketry for the defense applications also, ISRO is the people who are supporting all the fuels inside. That's why ISRO has slight problems. Because when all the defense applications are also supported by ISRO, any control which is given on DRDO or ISRO is almost the same. So a lot of departments which works together. Space Application Center is one where they do a lot of manufacturing of camera and testing of camera happens. Liquid propulsion, I told you, LPSC Valiamala. And National Remote Sensing Center, where they are the people who are supposed to take care of the applications and sending data. Telemetry and control, you have got ISTRAC. ISTRAC, you will see people keep on watching on monitor. Every satellite, the health parameters are given there. Auxiliary and informations, latitude, longitude, height, roll pitch yaw, velocity change, the roll velocity, pitch velocity, yaw velocity, every information. That's called orbit attitude parameters. They keep on recording it every microseconds. And there is a recorded information which comes. This is supposed to be the speed and this is what is recorded. If there is a difference within not the threshold, these people are supposed to inform the mission control room, not our satellite alone, whichever passes on our area. So the satellite may be owned by French or Europeans or Americans, but we are supposed to give the information to them because we are the ground tracking people, controlling people here on top of our land. We will tell them there is some small track problem. Then they will correct it. How do they do? If there is a roll, pitch, yaw change, they will just push it, adjust it. For which you need energy. Otherwise satellite doesn't require any energy. Okay, the camera is like this. As the satellite goes on the other side, camera should not look outside Earth, right? So camera also need to keep on tilting every moment. So for which you need a energy inside your satellite. Otherwise energy is not required. So maneuvering the satellite is what is required with the energy what is being taken by the solar panels. So the all satellites will have solar panel and there is a battery inside. The life of the satellite depends on the battery life. That's it. Camera doesn't have a life. It runs as long as you want. So some of the satellites are launched for 3 years projects. If the battery can still work, they work up to 8 years. We have got satellites which are working for 8 years. But there is some concept which says that you should not keep the satellite on the orbit working till it dies.
it has to take retirement after some time. Why? Because if it is on orbit, it becomes a waste, orbital waste. After some time, you lose control. The battery will not be enough for you to even communicate with them. So you don't know where the satellite is. And there are so many such abandoned satellites on the orbits. And that becomes a space waste. Therefore, people say, don't keep it in the waste orbit or as a waste on the orbit. You must then throw them out of the orbit with a little force, for which you need energy. We are all confused basically. Therefore, if there is energy for you to run for some more time, why should I use that energy to throw them out? Let it run for some more time. Like old professors becoming visiting professors in the university, right? Now, when you want to throw out of the orbit, that orbit is called graveyard orbit. It's a nice term. Graveyard orbits, where you just throw them to the graveyard orbit, because it is not in the natural orbit, the friction will become more, therefore the satellite will burn. That's how it dies, or that becomes the graveyard, where it is fired out. That doesn't happen. All these are done by which department? ISTRAC. Their job is only that. And master control facility you have in Bhopal. If you have not visited, must go and visit Bhopal. And we have in Hassan. And there are some small laboratory which are not very important. One of the training centers is in Dehradun. You have national natural resource centers in almost all the states, run by state department, state government controlled departments. Either science and technology or revenue department or somebody will take care of them in each state depending on their requirement. All of them will report to the headquarters. And the Andritz Corporation is the business agency for any external businesses. I already told you this. INSAT system, master control facility. The launching happens like this. These are the pictures taken by, when you see a picture which is covering the whole Indian region, you can imagine it's INSAT. And INSAT satellites are 36,000 kilometer height. 36,000 kilometer height. To see this much, it has to be in that height. To become geostationary, it has to be in that height. Two reasons. There are a lot of satellite control facility which are cooperating each other. Satellite control centers in the world. They are all of them. There are a lot of companies who are supporting manufacturing. Every portion of the satellite is given as contract to outside. ISRO doesn't manufacture even a single screw or nut and bolt. It's all contracted outside. We make the technology transfer is given. Godrej makes a lot of things. If you go to Hyderabad, you will see the satellite launch rocket outside skull of this. The cylinder is made in Hyderabad. And they will transport it to Trivandrum for checking. After checking and filling all that testing is over, it comes to again back to Andhra Pradesh. And when you want one rocket, they make 6 or 7 parallel ones. Because you don't know which one will be really suitable for testing and which can be used. Just because of one net is not available, you cannot delay the launch. So 6 to 7 pairs are made in which they will select the best. See, there are few things which you could not totally test before doing it. For example, if I have to make a missile, I cannot test missiles, whether it is working or not. Because once I test it, it cannot be used further, right? So you have to do testings not with the real usage, but simulate the testing. That's what is required. So most of the rocketry applications are such, you cannot test it totally. There are a lot of engineering services which are living because of Department of Space. Like similarly in the aircrafts also. Most of the applications which you do in defense and Department of Space have got a lot of applications in civilian applications also. See, for some of the materials which are made for defense are also used in medical applications. So they all work in tandem. Image processing applications which we develop in Department of Space are also used in medical imaging. And whatever you do in games are used in warfield. Whatever you see in games like firing and all that you see, all of them are used for training military people. or the other way. Whatever is used in military for doing research, the outfit is what is you see as games in the video game centers. The civil aircraft applications, defense programs, space programs, all of them go hand in hand. There are a lot of opportunities for doing business in engineering if you are associated with defense, or maybe Bhopal is one of the places you will see a lot of BHEL people live because of defense and related. There are a lot of possibility that you can buy from India, sell to India, because we are one of the cheapest launch vehicle supporters in the world today, and maybe the cheapest solutions for getting natural resource solutions. Therefore, we are supporting most of the developing countries, and even developed countries buy our data. Our data is much more cheaper compared to the data being sold by Western countries. There are a lot of capability gaps which we fill it up with R&D, collaboration with the private, collaboration with other international agencies. It's a list of items which we are being given to different private parties. Research areas include signal processing, wireless communication, antennas, and we have got a mixed vegetable curry in the menus in 5-star hotels, right? ISRO is like that. For every department, every knowledge, there is some place in Department of Space. I remember we are a small office with 100 scientists. We have geography people there. We have got mathematicians, physics people, computer science, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, MSc chemistry. Every people will be there inside. In a small office, you will see everyone. Okay? Because you want everybody to work together, then only things will happen. So, antennas and microwave, communication networks, computer vision, media processing, and we have in DECU, you will see TV people also inside, because we make a lot of educational programs in part of Department of Space. So if you go to Space Application Center, there is a center called DECU. You will see all nice people seeing, good looking makeup rooms and all that. You have a studio there. Communication laboratories, fiber optics, so many projects from industry, plenty of them. What you cannot work with in ISRO, in technology, cannot be answered. Everything. You are a true mathematician, you have a place there. And you are a true physicist, you have a place there. I am happy that people here are looking at sun, and you can do a lot of things. Weather predictions. We have got a strong control on weather prediction now. Earlier we used to have failures because we were not looking at the atmospheric program. We were only looking at the cloud from the INSAT, and the predictions were one cloud moves from here, another cloud moves from here. We compute the velocity of this, compute the velocity of this, and predict by 11:30 they may hit together and then rain in Bhopal. And by the time this cloud will change its mood, go somewhere, this cloud will also fall behind, and then it will rain in Calcutta. Therefore, our meteorology department always used to say that the Department of Space is giving is bad information, that's why we are failure. We will say we don't know why cloud is moving like that. It should listen to us. Okay, so it was always a failure. But today we are able to predict it because we have got atmospheric weather prediction models which works, and we have a lot of centers. These are all research done by Department of Space. To put them together with good accuracy, we are able to put lot of informations put together. There are a lot of online. See, the problem with the Department of Space or the data which comes from space is large quantity of data, gigabytes, and looking at it and processing becomes a big job. The data is so much. If you put maybe 100 times more people than who are working in India today, we will not be able to process all the data sets. Therefore, the problems are unsolvable. Therefore, computer science people have a lot of scope. You can automate as much as you want. So we were looking at how to automate this program, no? But automation, whenever we do for one, it works only for that. For the another data set, it becomes failure. Very good. Research and development group can live for long years, only doing research, right? Because no solutions comes. It's not that easy. The other day I was in IIIT, looking at all the exhibitions. They had an R&D exhibition. The maximum number of posters were in image processing, because all image processing solutions are unsolved. You solve for one, I want a face detection. I will do it for you, only it works for you. For the another face it doesn't work. Because that big is the problem. I remember fingerprint analysis. I got trained from CMC in 1989. Even today when I go to IIIT, I will see similar papers there. Because it's unsolvable, not that easy. So everything becomes a challenge in research, especially in data processing. We are good in taking data now, but processing data we are not very good. So a lot of people keep on working on this. Like one of the example is this Megha project. Okay, this is used for predicting what all which happens there. We predict something. This is used in SHAR. If we need a nice weather prediction for our own purposes, because if the satellite launch doesn't happen at the right time, when I told you the vehicle has to be there and the launch pad ready for that, and the building has to move back. The building has to move back means the building has to be so light, and that area is prone to cyclones. Andhra Pradesh coastal region is prone to cyclones. If one nice cyclone comes, the whole building and satellite also will collapse, and it costs you 600 crores. Right? And the launch is, you know that just before the launch, half an hour, 1 hour before also we have to get the climate conditions. By the time it launches, if there is a heavy cyclone, finished. It collapses. It's a big problem. So a lot of requirements are there. We also have similar antennas inside the sea for giving informations. Especially it has taken a lot of boosting after the problems, tsunamis, the so-called great people which came. So we have lot of such centers coming up in India, every part of India. Indian space program, we have lot of successes, lot of failures. Applications are plenty. You have in agriculture. I told you we not only have got black and white camera, color camera with 3 RGB. We can have the wavelength spectrum is so vast, you can divide them as you wish. You can cut them wherever you want. Not necessarily red with red band, green with green band, blue with blue band. I can mix them together and take in whatever fashion I want. Therefore, my pictures from satellite image doesn't follow the natural color. It follows a different color. Therefore, you will see some of the pictures here, you have got red. The sea can never be red in color, right? Therefore, what is done is, the temperature difference in this region is what is recorded as red in color. If the temperature is different, you have a red, green, yellow. So this shows there is a temperature difference. This is having different temperature from this. And this place where it is joining the temperature, that is where the fish will come and settle. Because fish doesn't want to be in cold place or hot place, it likes to be in a air conditioned style. And you know the satellite from 600 km looks at it and then finds where the fish is settling. And this information is passed on to the fishermen here and tell them, go here and catch them. The poor fish doesn't have a satellite knowledge. Got it? So you can imagine the applications of satellite goes up to this level. And this picture is never called a color picture. It's called false color composite, FCC image. False color composite image. And this FCC image, for example, when you look at greenery, how many types of greeneries you have? 1,000 varieties, right? If the paddy field is watered, you will have one green leaf. If it is not watered, it will have slightly yellowish green. Now we have satellites which can see the paddy field and say whether your laborer has watered it or not. You don't have to go to paddy field. You can sit in front of your computer, take the satellite image and look at it and scold it. Right? Now we have opiums, very famous in which part? Do you know why America keep on disturbing Afghanistan? Opium cultivation. Right? And who cultivates opium there? Americans. Okay, they fund Taliban and ask you cultivate it. And then satellite image started detecting it. Because we know the opium, where is it? And we find it out and say that you are cultivating opium there. And you know what these people did? They plant plantain, and the plantain leaf will become cover, and below that they will put opium, so that satellite cannot see. Now you know the technology which we have? If we have only opium, we can detect it. If we have only plantain, we can detect it. If there is a opium below plantain, that also we can detect it. So when the thief becomes brighter, the police becomes more brighter, right? So the technology keeps on changing. I want to tell you, Department of Space or the space technology research is not binded by just rocket launching and taking images. It all looks at what is happening on the ground and find solutions for that. Let it be on the ground or inside the water. And below the sea, below the water, below the ground, yes. You want underground water to be detected? The temperature of the ground will become constantly low if you have water flowing below the ground. Let it be 100 feet below the ground. If there is a water flow on the ground, you will have temperature difference. That cannot be detected with any other method other than thermal bands. So you have a satellite which looks at the thermal band and tell you where you have to put your borewell to get water. And this is done as a project in Gujarat, Rajasthan area. And we found that all the places where you can have borewell, connect all of them, we got a river structure. That means there is a river flowing below the ground. You know what's that river called? Saraswati. So we found that there is water below the ground and there is a Saraswati river which was available in our traditional knowledge, which is not existing on the ground. It went down the earth when? 3200 BC. These informations are given to the carbon dating technology. They are dug inside and then found out and then took a carbon dating analysis. They found that the river went down the earth 3200 BC. That's why we don't have knowledge now. Saraswati is the goddess for knowledge, right? So it went below the ground. So we have drinking water support, wasteland, monitoring, integrated commands and control, irrigations, river drifting, shifting, tele-education, telemedicine, wonderful applications. We have got consultations now. We don't have to, doctors are not required now. You don't have to cut. You have got tubes which goes inside. The nanotechnology tells you where to take it exactly. And you have 3D scanners which goes inside. And then tell you the tumor size. And you have got nano scissors available. It goes inside, cut it exactly, pick it up and throw it out. And not controlled by expert doctors, but controlled by doctors sitting somewhere else through the imaging, video conferencing. So village resource centers, we have lot of informations passing around. Navigation systems. The Chandrayaan anyway is well known. International cooperation, Department of Space cooperate with most of the other. Andrix Corporation is the one which is the selling data and all that is done by them. There are a lot of websites available. I'll just put this presentation here for you. You can look at it. So I said 40 minutes, I took 35, 57 minutes now, 1 hour.